Tory Lanez found guilty in 2020 shooting of Megan Thee Stallion. Well, I'm not going to abide by any violence done against stallions. The Tory Lanez thing is people are supporting him even though he shot Megan. It's pure misogyny that even big names like Drake are got in it. Misogyny from Drake? You're kidding me. But he's such a nice guy. Los Angeles jury on Friday found rapper and singer Tory Lanez guilty of 3 charges related to... Okay, so this might be an old-fashioned idea on my part. You can tell me if I'm a bit behind the times on it. But I think that if you shoot somebody, it's okay if you get in trouble for it. That seems fine, right? It's pronounced like Lanes, not Lanez. Okay, I don't know anything about this shit.
Megan Thee Stallion says she was really scared when opening up about being shot 2 years ago. It happened outside of a party in Hollywood Hills. Christina, who's in from...
Right off the bat, that's kind of feeling like scared to open up about having been shot. Okay.
Melissa has the details on this. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. And this happened with another rapper that was a friend, quote unquote. Megan Thee Stallion, whose real name is Megan Pete, became quite emotional when she recounted that night in her first TV interview about the incident. Pete says there was an argument because she wanted to leave a party before the group she was with did. She accuses rapper Tory Lanez of standing behind a car and shooting at her.
What a fucking freak.
I get out the car and it's like...
She told the cops at the scene she stepped on glass at first because she was afraid they'd be violent against her. Dude, if somebody... Okay, look, I'm woke. I love being woke. However, if somebody shoots at me, I don't give a what the cops are going to do to them after I call the cops. I am not going to withhold from telling the police that I have been shot with a gun on account of systemic injustice or whatever. Holy shit. What's the deal with them using a real name? Oh, that just tends to... They just tend to use real names. Yeah, that's because you're not built different like she is. Yeah, I guess. I stepped in a bullet-shaped shard of glass at the side of my foot. Yeah, where'd the bullet hit?
Everything happens so fast, and all I hear is this man screaming. He said, "Dance," and he started shooting, and I'm just like, "Oh my God!" Like he shot a couple of times. I didn't want to move too quick, like, cause I'm like, "Oh my God, if I take the wrong step, I don't know if he can shoot something that's like super important. I don't know if he could shoot me and kill me." Like,
were you afraid for your life at that time?
I was really scared because I had never been shot at before.
Makes sense.
Pete says she was hit in both feet. Lanez was arrested and charged.
Both? They rat-a-tatted both. Okay. So wait, what is even the controversy here? This seems open and shut. There's no disagreement as to whether she was shot. The perp is... What's the... Where's the controversy? What... People are calling her a liar? Based on what evidence? The evidence is that she's a black woman? Okay, gotcha. They made it the up. Well, somebody linked some photos of her foot that had been shot, and, you know, her foot really looks more like it was blown apart with a high-velocity piece of lead than it looks like she stepped on glass. You know, I'm not a medical expert, but if I were to, like, rate wounds on a scale of blown apart by high-velocity lead and stepped on glass, this would be way more in the former category. Like, by a long... Yeah, by a lot. So, yeah. The guy's defense lawyer started going on in her romantic history. Hassan has a video on it if you care enough to watch. Romantic history? Dude, the Lane's defense team was bringing up who Megan was sleeping with to try to discredit her and other misogynistic shit. God damn, dude. Sometimes it really makes you wish that some defense attorneys could be convicted for the same crimes their clients are being accused of if they do some shit. There's got to be like, okay, listen, if you're gonna turn a whole defense case into some bullshit like that, all right, we're rattling you in. Retard shit. There are a lot of defense attorneys who are scumbags. Real Saul Goodman cases. Of course, the actual like profession of being a defense attorney is a very honorable one. The issue is that these high-profile celebrity cases tend to mean like you have very wealthy scumbag celebrities who do bad stuff. So of course they're going to hire like wealthy scumbag lawyers who are in on the game. You know what I mean? if you're somebody like this, if you're the kind of person who's going to shoot some chick's foot, screaming dance, dance, you know, you're probably not the kind of guy who's thinking, I should get a straightforward, honest lawyer who will give me the best representation under the law, but I won't, you know, we won't do anything, you know, harmful or dishonest, because, yeah, probably not a huge priority. Let's see. Who shot Megan Thee Stallion?
Tory Lanez DNA was reportedly not found on the gun used to shoot Megan Thee Stallion. Wait, what do you mean? He failed the GSR test. So did the other lady that was there. I've been keeping a close watch on this.
What DNA? It's a gun. You just hold it. What? Do you mean what? Do you mean like hair? What? I don't think that you leave your DNA on everything that you touch with your hands. Fingerprints isn't DNA. And fingerprints aren't reliable.
Case. This is the Amber Heard trial for Black Twitter and also like the Shade Room. There's a lot of weird Tory Lanez.
Yeah, was he supposed to have the gun? Did they come back negative on the cum? GSR looking for what are you guys talking about GSR? Did Hassan mention GSR? Did I miss that?
What do you mean? He failed the GSR test. So
oh, okay, yeah, right, yeah. If you fire a gun, unless you're wearing like gloves or whatever, but if you fire a gun, you have like gunpowder and cordite and stuff in your hands.
Did the other lady that was prior Tory Lanez apologia happening all over the place? All I'm gonna say is I am a hot girl. It's a very interesting story.
DNA is true. DNA is transferable so easily. We sprinkle it everywhere every time we touch something. Not reliably. DNA testing is not hyper reliable. There's tons of stuff we can do without leaving DNA evidence. So the DNA evidence can decompose rapidly. Sometimes it can be shifted away or destroyed by external forces. We don't always leave it reliably. Like, just because we leave dead skin cells everywhere doesn't mean we're leaving like a obvious constant DNA track. It's in terms of, I'm a PhD scientist, so yeah. You're a PhD scientist in what? Forensic investigation? There are a lot of problems with relying on the infallibility of DNA evidence.
Because, like, I personally think that people are being ruthless towards Megan Thee Stallion. They're looking for a lot of weird outs in this regard. They're, like, shitting on her. The defense has brought up who Megan Thee Stallion may or may not have. What does that have to do with anything? A lot of people like Tory Lanez. I don't know why, but they really, really like Tory Lanez, and they just think, like, Megan Thee Stallion's, like, lying or some shit. But she...
Who's this Tory Lanez guy, anyway? Why do people like him? He looks like an elf. He looks like a trickster, like, fae elf that you would find in the woods who offers you 3 wishes if only you can decipher, if you can separate the lies from the truth. All the photos of him are next to Megan Thee Stallion. I think he looks like an elf. I'm sticking by my caricature.
She was shot at, dabbing into black people's business again. I mean, this isn't just like black people's business. This is pretty universal concept that we're talking about here. Misogyny. I mean, it's misogynoir, certainly, but like it's still misogyny. Megan Cuniff has been covering it. Good morning from Los Angeles, where I'm here for the 6th day of the testimony in rapper Tory Lanez criminal assault trial for the 2020 shooting of Megan Thee Stallion in Hollywood Hills. Follow this thread for updates from the courthouse. She's been doing law crime news trial coverage. One big issue I'm hoping to learn more about the article is from Justin Edison. Meg's lawyer said he didn't show up for his scheduled testimony on Friday. Will he be there today? Will he be here?
What the fuck? I don't understand the controversy behind any of this. What's happening? Megan Thee Stallion. I wish I could do normie shit, but I don't understand what people are talking about. Okay, if I go on Twitter right now and look up, like, Tory Lanez, will it be like people going like, that bitch, she shot her own foot? What? Tory? I don't. All right, here's Twitter's take. Tory Lanez falling from the top bunk in his cell. I don't get it. I don't get the joke. That looked like it hurt a lot. I don't get the joke. Oh, it's because he's short? Because he's 5'3"? Okay, sorry. Dude, my elf comparison! You didn't even tell me? I made the elf call and you guys didn't even tell me that he was 5'3"? You didn't even tell me that I was right like that? Woohoo! I'll stop shooting at your feet, you'll see! If only you'll answer my riddles 3! We thought you knew? Why would I know that? Okay. I already called him manlet. People call people manlets For everything. People call everyone a manlet. People call me a manlet. Oh, here's the Knief person that Hassan just referred to. A jury has convicted Tory Lanez of all 3 charges for the 2020 shooting of Megan Thee Stallion, a crazy and downright scary scene in the courtroom as his father and stepmother scream about Wick's injustice. What are y'all going to do when Tory Lanez is found innocent?
I guess we'll never know.
Well, people on Twitter seem to be in the Megan Thee Stallion camp. Megan Thee Stallion deserves more than the justice served in Tory Lanez's case. She deserves a culture and media landscape that doesn't demonize black women's lives, safety, and voices. When you in the prison talent show last year, but then you hear Tory Lanez is coming.
What the f***? God damn! God damn!
Anyway, I hope Tory Lanez goes to jail and Meg goes on vacation, deletes Twitter off her phone, and never sees the disgusting shit y'all are tweeting about her. Tory Lanez lawyer right now.
Good and bad news. Good news, we got your payment, buddy. Bad news, they gave you life. Sayonara.
That was good. Merry Christmas to you too, Crane. Thank you very much. Tory Lanez taking as much. Okay. Well, Twitter's chosen a side. Here's a debate Hassan has had with a Tory Lanez defender. Hassan does debates?
I think in a
from the onset of today and just the beginning, I said, listen, I'm believing in whatever the jury. We got to go with what the jury says.
There's a really,
and if it, again, we're all human, so like, taking in certain information, you may lean one way or the other, but like, respecting the system. If you don't respect the system, it's like, why even go through this process, right? So I thought it was going to go differently, but definitely I respect the.
All right, why do you think it was going to go differently? Let's talk about that, because it seems like I don't know if you were also involved in the immediately tweeting that Tory Lanez found innocent yesterday. Group of people. I don't think you were. Were you one of those people as well? You tweeted that as well?
No, sir. I'm a little smarter than that.
Yeah. Even though No Jumper did it, Rap TV did it, a bunch of other accounts did it, and to me, Rap TV is infallible. You know what I mean? These guys are at the cutting edge of news in general. Okay, so that was a turning moment for me. It truly saddened me to see Rap TV fall so far from grace.
Well, first of all, I wouldn't have tweeted that because, again, we've been covering it I've never streamed this much. This is my most streamed month ever. So I'm doing about
okay, what's the
8, I know you do it pretty regularly, but 8 to 9 hours a day. And and just get out of the way. I'm a person, so definitely if I'm hearing a bunch of
who is Academics and why do they have 12,000 viewers? DJ Academics? I've never heard of this person before.
Things or a bunch of information that might question it. And also, I'll say this. I've always said this, and I said this about 20 times before the verdict came down. This is when we heard that there was a verdict. And I said, listen, there's a lot of new people. There's because I multi-stream now.
You're probably worse at debating this topic. Nah, if you ever need to do a debate, okay, guys, here's the secret. If you ever want to do a debate on a subject you don't know shit about, but it's like something like this, you don't know the context or whatever, just ask a lot of questions, okay? That's what you got to do. Just ask a lot of questions. Oh, well, why do you doubt that? Oh, and then it's like something she slept with, Oh, well, what did her sleeping habits have to do with the shooting? What's the relevancy there? And then eventually you can get them to construct the case against them, as long as they're willing to answer. They can lie, though. Yeah, that's where having chat around really helps. Because if they ever lie or leave anything out, chat can be like, whoop! And you can, pull them apart from that. Academics is well known for live covering the gang war in O'Block, Chicago, and making fun of 16-year-olds killing each other. God damn. That's probably not good.
And I'm like, there's so many new people to my...
Jesus, Vosh, look at your screen within screens. Yeah, listen, it's like the Matrix code. To you might just see numbers, but I can see, blonde, brunette, redhead, once you get used to it.
Stream at this moment. I said, if you guys are looking forward to find out if Tory Lanez shot Meg, you probably...
He brings Fresh and Fit later. Dude, I have to get on the Fresh and Fit thing. I have so many funny jokes that I want to say. I have so many. I want to toe the line in so many ways.
Won't. This is only about if he will be found guilty on these charges.
So you actually don't think Tory Lanez shot Megan Thee Stallion on the foot, like even regardless of the jury's decision?
Okay, so I don't think, regardless if he was found innocent, I don't think the true story of that night will be told. I don't think so. I'll tell you.
Why are so many people with bad opinions such pussies, dude? What the? I've seen this happen so many times where it's like a person has a dog shit take, and you're like, okay, so what do you believe? And they're like, okay, well, I don't, not yes, no, maybe don't believe it. I don't think that it's possible that it could have been the case that it might have happened in the way that people didn't say that it did happen. You know, I'm not saying that anything happened. I'm just saying that I don't know. My take's that, and then if you like walk away from them for 1 minute, they go back to their stream and they're like, yeah, I completely fully believe that stupid bitch Megan Thee Stallion was lying. That stupid or the cum dumpster. And then you walk back and you're like, hey, what's up? And they're like, oh yeah, I just think it's really complicated. We're never going to fully understand the totality. These people are such weasels. I deal with so many versions of this and so many different arguments and people, man. It's like they know they can't defend their shit. So the moment anyone else shows up, actually, yeah, Michael Tracy does this, but to be fair, Michael Tracy does this about everything. A conversation on what he had for breakfast is probably like 15 minutes long every morning. So
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what.
Okay. Let's just talk about our theories then, because like,
okay,
my theory is, you know, there's an altercation. Megan Thee Stallion gets out of the car. Tory Lanez,
altercation.
Yeah, like there's a back and forth. Like there's a back and forth. The vibes are off. Okay.
So,
and I think that Megan Thee Stallion says some things that are hurtful to Tory Lanez. He's drunk. He's he seems to have a short fuse.
Okay.
He pulls out and he starts shooting in her direction, not actually intending to shoot her in the foot, and then accidentally, either due to ricochet or directly shooting her on accident in the foot, ends up shooting her in her feet.
Okay,
then I think Kelsey also tries.
He looked at her, extended his gun dead forward, fired, and hit her foot.
To intercept, and has her hair pulled, and like I think there was like a fight between her and Tory Lanez as well. Now it's not like Tory Lanez is like a very big dude, you know what I mean? So
hold on. So again, I know people are gonna accuse me of like, well, it feels like you had a side. I've always had a side of saying, hey, listen, when I start seeing, like, for example, the whole narrative of Tory did it, then when I started having some skepticism when there was reports that there was gunpowder residue found on
both of them. Yeah,
right.
On both Kelsey and Tory Lanez. Yeah, that's true.
Then apparently there was a fight between Kelsey and Meg that might be centered around a man. Now, here's the point. I'm going to go off what you just said, because that's what the prosecutor was saying. By the way, again, I'm not sitting here saying I do not accept what the jury has said, but we're going to just talk about now.
God, why is he such a bitch, dude? Why does this keep happening? Oh my God. It's like over and over and over again. It's like, yeah, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying, like, isn't it weird how, and then he'll mention something that doesn't contradict the central theory anyway. They said this is the same thing that Jackson Hinkle did the entire convo, where I was like, okay, here's my concretely laid out, comprehensive description of Assad dropping chemical weapons on a population in Syria. And he was like, well, isn't it interesting how somebody found a Twix wrapper in the area? No? What? Okay. Do you think it's possible that maybe aliens did it? What? What if aliens did it? Do you think aliens did it? No, I didn't say that. I'm just asking if you think it's possible that aliens did it. I don't know. Maybe. Probably not. and I did that for 2.5 hours. Every conspiracy theorist finds the most benign shit interesting. Yeah, because they never commit to a point. Because once you've committed to a point, you can have holes shot in that point. No pun intended here. So they're just like, poking. They're poking.
Narrative. And again, you're very smart.
Hinkle still says he owned you. Yeah, and the far-right German insurrectionaries who were arrested a couple weeks ago still think that the German Second Reich is active and legally never ended. People cling on to things.
Person.
And I want to know what your assumption of what that night is, because we're both working off of assumptions.
No, you're right. You're right. But I'm going to ask you about the assumption that you just said. Do you really think that in any situation, or maybe do you know anyone that if they were insulted about their music, they would just pull out a gun and shoot someone?
No, but
What the kind of question is that?
I also don't think that, like, do you think Tory Lanez pulled up on Dax after he, you know, I mean, he did pull up on him, but like, do you think he threatened Dax a couple years back when he had a song about him, like when he dissed him?
Yes, but that's a whole different situation. But yes, I'm following.
Well, I'm just, the reason why I bring that up is because like I feel like he has a short fuse, if you will, and like you know,
Do sometimes inebriated guys draw and start firing on people with little provocation. Yes, especially people in the, like, yeah, again, no shade or whatever, but whole, like, the idea, hey, is it possible that somebody like in the hip hop or rap game or whatever might be a bit trigger happy? Is that possible? Maybe, I don't know. I've never heard stories of rappers shooting, getting shot, gang affiliation. I've never heard. That's never happened before. What? Hello?
Okay. Maybe he was drunk and felt insecure.
Pulling up on Dax, right? Versus a woman saying your music sucks and you pulling out a gun. And even though we both agree that Tory is probably smaller than Meg, your first line
that is true.
Your first line of after you're offended is to shoot her. I'm asking you, Hassan. Okay?
His question is literally, dude, my guy couldn't have shot her because, like, who would do that? That's actually what he's saying right now. Your Honor, you know, the prosecution claims my client, you know, shot the, you know, the victim, and all the evidence and testimonials back that up. However, like, who would do that? Like, dude, that'd be crazy. Dude, what? Who would do that? That's wild. Yeah, he can't do that. That's illegal. You're saying he shot her with a gun? That's illegal. Why? He can't do that.
Do you think that is if you were on the jury and that's the only story that you could hear on why he shot her, would you be like, well, makes sense?
Yeah, I think they had a scuffle in the car. They had an altercation in the car. He was drunk and he came out and he shot in the vicinity, not realize. I think he wanted to put the fear of God in her and reacted in a.
Hold on, this is important.
What
I love
you
him.
looking at, buddy?
Sniffy.
Insane way. But yeah, I do think that. I think that he got out of the car and shot at her.
And,
yes.
And this is where, like, you know, some of the, you know, some of these details might elude you because, you know, I'm not too sure how closely you've been paying attention to it. Go back to Meg Thee Stallion's Gayle King interview. She said she did not put hands on anybody that night, which would have meant that she did not physically put hands on Kelsey or Tory that night. So now,
what does any of this mean? He shot her. There's a bullet hole. Okay, I'm sorry. I know this is probably going to get super in the weeds and go on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Academics chat is horrified a victimized woman would receive justice. Yeah, man, I don't know. Whenever we see this shit where it's like some celebrity bullshit and people like take sides or however it goes down, like the fact of the matter is a lot of people, especially people who follow celebrity bullshit or celebrity culture, like especially a lot of guys, especially a lot of young guys, they just kind of want to be able to like hurt and women whenever they want, and like literally any system, whether it be like a legal precedent or like like cultural movement or whatever that would get in the way of them having the freedom to do that at their behest is just like an inconvenience to them, you know? That's why there are so many people who will just thoughtlessly, reflexively, like, no, and they'll always deny that's the reason why they do it, but like that's the pattern, right? Like how many people, it's like, oh dude, no, I'm not like pro being able to women, I'm just anti the Me Too movement, and I attack literally every woman who speaks out about this shit, and I will defend the most like incredulous statements or beliefs or positions if it means that I get to be against anything that might support like victimized people or victimized women or whatever. It's not, do not look for a pattern here. This is just my opinion. A lot of male rappers in the black community often have controversial shit. I mean, Rodzilla, pardon me, whitey white boy here. If I say something racist, let me know. Are a lot of rappers in the hip hop or whatever community not literally elevated from origins that have gang affiliations? I gotta hit you guys with some crazy shit. You're not gonna like it because there are lefties that romanticize the out of inner city gangs. They're actually pretty misogynistic for the most part. I know this is crazy shit, okay? But as it turns out, it's not actually, generally speaking, the best environment to get, healthy, well sociable, well socialized, well developed views on women. Just a feeling I have. Tory's an R&B rapper from the suburbs. Well, you know how we feel about the suburbs, don't we? Whatever. Look, just wild shit. I really am blind to the normie stuff. I didn't notice any of this happening at all. Whatever.